Hello and welcome to another edition of Helping Hand Center's Craft Corner. I'm Laura and I'm going to be leading you through another crafting activity of making bugs out of construction paper. So we have three options for you today. The first is a ladybug, second an ant, and our third bug that we're going to be making is a grasshopper. So all of these bugs are going to be made with basic shapes, but if you do have a younger child at home, the adults may end up doing more of the cutting, or if scissor skills are something that your kid is working on, then you can help maybe draw some of the lines and let them have a go, and that will take a little bit longer. Which if you're trying to fill time is great. So let me show you the pieces that you're going to need first, and then we'll get to cutting them out and putting them together, the fun part. So for a ladybug, you're going to need two big round circles, a smaller red circle. You can make the legs, the smaller slender pieces, out of either red or black, your choice, and then however many small black circles you would like. For the ant, you're going to have a larger oval piece, a smaller oval piece, and then this lovely head with pinchers, and I'll show you how to make that. And of course you need legs. Both of the ant and the ladybug need 6 legs for the type of bug they are. If you go rogue and do your own bug, like a spider, just make sure that one has 8 legs. And for our grasshopper here, we have one long oblong oval shape, one larger triangle, 2 smaller skinny triangles, but still very long, and then one smaller circle. I've kind of made it irregularly shaped, so it's kind of like a rounded out triangle a little bit, but you don't have to do that exactly the same way. Those are our pieces that we're going to be cutting out. So decide what you'd like to make and then follow along with making the shapes. All right, let's get to making those shapes. For the ladybug, if you're wanting to make a nice perfect circle, I took a cup. I chose to do a little bit larger size, but any size cup will do. Place it on the paper, trace around it. You'll definitely have to avoid the handle here, and then that serves as the template for this round piece. So once you have your round piece, we're actually going to cut this in half. So now we have 2 pieces. So these are the shells of the wings. You'll do the same thing for this black piece. And I did my round circle by hand, but you could find another smaller, like an espresso cup or something that you might have in your house to improvise with. For the small round circles, I took an extra strip of this black construction paper and I cut them into little squares, and from there I just kind of rounded off the corners. This one was more of a rectangle when I started, so I'm going to cut off a little bit more so it's a circle. And that way they're all going to be pretty much the same size because they're all coming from this original little strip that's about the same width the whole way down. And the same thing I did for the legs. Let me just cut a small strip off of this construction paper. Well, let me first cut it in half. You could leave your legs like this. I certainly did that for the ant. Or you could line them up and just cut off the corner so then they're pointed. The ant was the easiest bug to make by far. I chose a certain width and cut a strip the whole length of my construction paper. Then at one end, I rounded it off so it kind of looks like an oval on this end. And then I chose how long I wanted the long piece of the body to be. And then I actually cut out the oval from the rest of the main strip. And you can kind of see here, oh, that looks kind of like pinchers. So that's what I chose to use for my ant's head. I just cut a little bit further back from that and then round out these corners as well. And that is the little guy's head. And then I just cut another small oval, same way I had done the first one. And you can fuss with the shape as much as you want, but this is just for fun. So those three pieces all came out of just one solid strip that I cut from my construction paper. And then I took the remaining construction paper from this strip and I just cut legs. I think I did it the long way, but you could do it the short way. Two more cuts, and I have 6 legs, all from one piece. For the grasshopper, we're going to again cut a wide strip from your construction paper, trying to keep an even length or width. Grasshoppers are kind of long, so we're again going to cut an oval shape out for the body, just rounding the corners really. And then let's see, since it's longer, I'm going to cut it here. And then I have my grasshopper body. And then we need a bunch of triangles, one for the wings and then 2 for the legs. So I'm going to probably need another strip. Let's see, I will cut the head out from this smaller piece, and for the legs I'm going to use this triangle and cut from one corner to the other corner in a diagonal, and that's going to create these skinny triangles. Because this isn't big enough for the wing, I'm going to create the head from this. So you can start by making a circle out of this remaining. And if you notice, grasshoppers in real life, they kind of have a slanted head. So I just cut a little, lob one side off a little bit So it's more like an egg shape. That's really the best way to describe that. And then you're going to cut out one more bigger triangle, and I guess an easy way to do this is just to cut diagonally from one side there. There's your wing. All right, let's start by making our ladybug. We're going to start by putting our black circle in the center and taking our 2 ladybug wings and putting glue on the back side of them. So I'm going to just line this up at the top. You can see it's not exactly in the same line because we want some of that black to shine through or to show through. Now that's our ladybug's body, and now I'm going to put a little bit of glue on one side of the circle, not over the whole thing. This little piece that I put the glue on is going to go underneath the black circle like this. We'll do the same thing with all of our legs. I feel like these points should be facing this way, so I'm going to put the glue on just a tiny bit on one end, put it under. Do this the whole way. As you're doing this, if you want to work on some counting skills, this is a good time to do it with kids. You're counting the legs as you put them on, and then you're counting the dots as you put them on the ladybug. I have opted, for the purposes of this video, not to do any eyes or an antenna for any of my bugs, but that's something that they can draw and work on. Body parts, they could do the mouth and the eyes, obviously legs. Spots. If you're feeling really lazy, you can just have a ladybug with one dot. You know, those ladybugs with just one dot on each side. But I think mine is going to have 4 on each side. And that's my little ladybug. You could glue it to paper, or you could just leave it out like this so you can walk around the room or anything like that. Now moving on to our ant. This is pretty straightforward, as you could imagine. So let's see, I'm trying to remember. I'm going to put the head on top. So we're going to do it like that. Okay, so on the back side of our middle body piece, we're going to only put glue on half of it and put it on top of the lower body part. Same thing with the head. I'm just going to put a little bit on the back side of the head, not the whole way. I thought it would also be fun to, if you had one of those tabs that you could push through so it could swivel, the head could swivel, but I don't have one of those. And we're going to do the same thing with these little legs. Put a little bit of glue on the top of one leg and glue it from underneath. I'm going to put 2 legs on the lower body. One in the middle body. And then doing that on the other side. You can have a whole collection of bugs. Here's your ant. And last but not least, our lovely grasshopper. Now this one is a lot less intuitive. I'm going to start with the body piece, and then I'm going to use the wing. That's the much bigger triangle piece. So I have drawn a little bit on this, so I hope it's a little bit easier to see the definition between the green body and the green wing. But you know, you can use crayons and color this even more if you want. So this wing goes a little bit back, so you don't want it to be right in the middle. You want the end of the wing to be sticking out a little bit because their wings go past their body at the back. So I'm going to put a bunch of glue all along. There we go. So hopefully you can see that. And then the head, I'm going to put a little bit of glue on the back side and glue it so that the egg is kind of upside down. The point, the smallest point, should be kind of facing down. Now this is the really fun part. These are the legs, and grasshoppers have this classic look to them with that knee, that leg that bends at the knee way up here and then comes back down. So that's why these triangles need to be long and skinny. So I'm going to put some glue on one side. I'm going to put that leg from the bottom of his body going up. And now then this one, oh no, sirens. This one I'm going to, I guess I should continue that glue on the back side of this wing, or leg, excuse me, that skinny part of the triangle going up. And then I'm going to connect it like that. Now, this doesn't look quite right because we have this little bit of extra. So I'm going to cut that extra piece off. And there you go. There's your little grasshopper. I'm very proud of him. I like him very much. And I hope you enjoy making these construction paper bugs.